Okay, part 2 of plugin basics. Let's do it. The next type of plugin we're going to look at is modulation. Modulating an instrument or a voice or whatever it is with time and delay. Modulating delay. The first thing is this right here, which is tremolo. And here's the guitar. Now let's listen to it with some tremolo. Tremolo. Okay, that's modulating amplitude right there. Now, first thing we'll do with modulating time, we'll do a flange. They've also got a nice chorus sound here we can take a listen to. Nice there. Here's they got a phaser here. Let's take a listen to that. A little bit of phase action there. Let's try the next thing. Oh, this is fun. This is a rotary speaker. This emulates a Leslie. Very cool. So that's a few different time modulation things there. Our next plugin series we're going to look at is reverbs and rooms. Now, the first time I was ever in a recording studio, I was in a band. I was 17 years old, and it was in Louisiana, and I'll never forget, put on the headphones, and the engineer was in the control room, and the band was out in the studio, and I'm sitting in this kind of like a little booth. I put the headphones on. They'd been working on the drum sound, and I put on the headphones, and the drummer started playing hitting his drums, and there was reverb, and it sounded amazing. It was like, oh, this is studio magic. Hearing that reverb on those drums when I was 17 years old, I think, was one of the reasons I ended up doing what I did for a living, because it was just so amazingly magical. Let's get into it, shall we? Let's put a little bit of plate on that acoustic guitar. Here's the plug-in. You see it vibrating the plate, this little simulation of what's going on. This is an Abbey Road simulation plate. And you can manipulate the parameters, make it longer, make it shorter, just like any of these plug-in reverbs will do. Let's listen to a chamber. Here's a plug-in that emulates the Capitol record chambers, famous chambers here in LA. None. Chamber. Pretty fun. First studio I ever had a job in that I was hanging around getting coffee and stuff, they actually had a physical chamber. It was amazing. Then the next effect is room. Here we have a little plug-in made by Brainworks, and it's a room simulator. There's a guitar. Now if we put it in the room, it's in the room. That's a room simulation. You can, of course, change all these parameters and get these rooms to sound different, but that's a really cool plugin. I like that plugin a lot. Next, we go to halls. Here's one of my favorite reverbs in the world, the Lexicon 480L. Worked with this reverb for many, many years over at Sony Pictures, mixing TV shows and movies. So a medium hall. So you can have a large hall. You can have a small hall. You can have a small hall with the stage, I think. Yeah, there it is. Gives you a little bit of the reflection of the stage. You can get many, many sounds with this particular plugin. Rooms has a ton of rooms. Music Club's a great sound. very natural sounding room. What else we got? Medium room. All sorts of ambiances you can put on your mixes with these reverbs and room plugins. A lot of fun there. All right, the next type of plugin we're going to talk about is delay plugins. There's different kinds of delay. There's tape delay, there's analog delays, there's digital delays. And let's get right into it, okay? Here we have a little guitar part in this tune here, this little riff. Put this thing called a space echo on it. I was in a band and our sound man had one of these. I'll never forget. He used to sit out there and go crazy with the thing. He had a ball. We'll put it in line and get a little bit of delay going on this thing. Ooh, you hear it? Oh, the helicopter's going over. Let's wait for that to go. The cops are always flying around my house. Apparently, whatever I'm growing in the backyard is upsetting them. All right, let's try that again. So, all sorts of different parameters here. You listen to Radiohead, you hear this kind of thing. Johnny Greenwood doing that kind of stuff. Okay, so that's tape echo. Jimmy Page used it a lot, like Whole Lotta Love, that tune. He went crazy with an echoplex. It was a tape delay. Now let's look at analog delay. Got a short analog delay here. Same, it's kind of similar to the tape delay to a certain extent. It's kind of a dirty, non-defined thing. This, I've got it on synced where it's working with the tempo. Kind of a Bucket Brigade sounding delay. Okay, so that widens that guitar up, put it in the track. Cool, spreads it out a little bit. Here's another delay that we've got here. This is a digital delay. Kind of fun. Hey, let's put all three of them in and see what we get. You can automate that stuff, like I'm messing around with these knobs. That's the beauty of digital audio workstations. You can automate any knob. That's part of mixing. You can use plugins in creative ways. Digital delays are a lot of fun as far as creating space and creating slappy things and time things. A lot of fun. So that's delays. Next type of plugin we're going to look at is modeling plugins. No, not those little shops on those weird seedy streets with the models that you go photograph. Modeling, in other words, trying to emulate some sort of guitar amplifier or bass amplifier or any sort of amplifier. Let's look at this right here. We've been listening to this riff. Now it's very low, right? That's just the output of the guitar, going through no amplifier, no nothing. But here, well, we got this thing called Ampire. And it's modeling a, well, it looks like a Marshall to me. I don't know about you guys. And what have we got down here? Well, there's a few pedals plugged in. Sounds pretty good. Got a delay pedal. Don't want that. Anyway, put it in the track. Let's look at another. This is a fun modeling thing here. This is a Helix Native. What do we got going on here? Well, we got distortion, delay, an amplifier, which is a matchless knockoff amplifier, a little compression, a little EQ, all sorts of stuff. Verb. So, that's the amplifier. Put a little delay on it. A little bit of distortion. A little bit of distortion. And we can go look at this totally different setup here. Look at this. We got a whole list of stuff here. Different setups, different amplifiers. Here's a Vox sounding amp. So you can just unmute it and listen to the different sounds as you go and pick the closest one. Nice and pokes through nicely. That one doesn't poke through so well. How about this one? Pretty nice. Anyway, so these are two different modeling plugins right there. Line 6 Helix Native, and then the Ampire that comes with Studio One. Modeling's a great thing so you don't have to disturb your neighbors with your loud guitar amplifier in your house. As you can see, they have all sorts of great amps to choose from, different amplifiers to choose from. A Vox, a Fender, an Ampeg, a Mesa Boogie, and a Marshall. So that's great, you know. And then you can choose different cabinets that have different characters to them. You can put a Marshall head into a Vox cabinet. You can choose different microphones. It's all sorts of fun. Both of them do the same thing. You know, all these modeling softwares, they do that. Now, how about bass? You can there's modeling you can do with bass as well. See, I worked on the bass guitar here. I put this nice compressor on the bass, dirties it up a little bit. Then I put this nice EQ on the bass. A little bit more point on the bass, a little bit more grit on the bass. Now, let's get rid of those and let's put a bass amp in there, an actual bass amp. Okay, let's grab this Ampire thing. You know, we know it works pretty cool. Let's see what we got there. We saw we had a bass amp earlier. Let's go down and find that sucker. There it is, Ampeg bass amp. Let's go find, there we go. There's a bass amp simulation. And boom, see what it's, turn it off. How about some chorus? Kind of cool. Put the guitar, pan that sucker over here, and get a delay on the other side. We'll just put a delay over there. How about this guy? There we go. So you just dream stuff up in your heads, you grab your plugins, and you make it happen. There's a million choices, and it takes a long time to figure out all the different equipment that you want to use and that you can rely on. The good news is you can save settings as you come up with them, and you can put those in places where you can find them, so it hopefully will get your workflow faster. You get over that learning curve of understanding how the different plugins work. Takes about 40 years. Okay, so hopefully you get the idea. There's a myriad number of plugins out there, a lot of manufacturers. The plugins that came with your DAW or just the plugins that your DAW manufacturer makes. There's third-party manufacturers out there. You've got Waves, Universal Audio, McDSP, Plugin Alliance, just to name a few. Regardless, I hope you have a better understanding of what plugins are and how to use them now. If you haven't done so, please subscribe and continue watching the Home Studio for Beginners course here on Record, Mix, Repeat. I'm your host, Rusty Smith. Thanks for watching.